What happens when you Google search Italian psychology subway Batman? You get one of the funniest papers I have seen in a while. Okay, so today I am going to be doing something a little more lighter than my usual stuff. Last month there was a paper that came out that literally focused, it was very like social psychology-esque, and it literally presented the issue of what happens when a superhero is found on a subway train. So this is not so much going to be focusing on clinical psychology practice as much as just having a little bit of fun. Kind of a few things have been converging for me. I have recently made a special dark chocolate ice cream for my son because he's obsessed with chocolate. We are like just at the time of recording this, just past the winter solstice. And I've been wrapping up my parental leave for my little girl and binging Superstore, and I have had this clip of the store manager Glenn doing his Bane impression from Batman.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
So I figured let's just do like a dark Batman themed episode where we can talk about this study and make a special dark chocolate ice cream with the Ninja Cream. So this paper is good news. It is open source. It is, let me pull this up. This is on NPJ Mental Health Research. I will link below for this. Literally here, I'll throw up a picture right here. It shows that there was a person dressed up as Batman on the subway, and they did a experimental design where they had a non-Batman person on the same subway train, and they monitored the differences. And I suppose maybe I'm not talking about this from a clinical psychology point of view, but from an experimental psychology point of view, the fact that they integrated the control condition actually really, really good on them. This may not be the hardest science ever, but as opposed to someone just running in a casual experiment, we'll call it, where they just had someone dress up as Batman and go on a train and see what happens, they actually were able to compare the behaviors of the people who were around the Batman character versus not. What they found is that people were more likely to engage in prosocial activity. Prosocial being that they were polite, they were more likely to offer a seat to another person. Actually, they say 44% more likely in the Batman condition than in the non-Batman condition to offer a seat to someone. They actually found that I'm looking at the abstract right now, almost a 3.4 times greater likelihood that someone would offer a seat to someone in need. And the interesting thing is they did some interviews after the fact, and they found that the people who were behaving more politely didn't even consciously recall seeing the Batman character. So the authors of this study, what they focused on was how having this element increased the likelihood of prosocial behavior. That they look at it as people are more likely to behave well, or not just behave well, but behave more positively towards others in a situation where they were essentially primed to be thinking about the possibility of heroic activity, heroic behavior. The thing that came to mind for me is there is some long-standing research when we contrast this with research on police behavior. For reference, I went all the way back to the 80s for a second, looking at a paper that was published in the journal Police Chief, the effects of police visibility on driver behavior. And essentially they've been looking at for a long time was the effect of seeing a police officer on public behavior. And the long-standing assumption has been that a lot of people will act out of fear of punishment. I'm not saying that they will. However, this Batman study, I think it raises a fair question to say, how much of our behavior is really driven by that fear of punishment? Or are there more intrinsic drives for us to engage in prosocial behavior? And having those moments of being primed and reminded of that can actually help us engage in our helping, our prosocial, our polite, whatever you want to call it, type of behaviors. And, in that sense, kind of makes me wonder, is this something that we can expand on, elaborate on in terms of helping us create a kinder, healthier, more helpful society? Lord knows, in 2025 and 2026, we may need a little bit of that. So, fun little study, fun little read. Always fun to have visuals included in research. So, just for, can I say shits and giggles on here? I'm going to say it. Just for shits and giggles, give this paper a read. So, that being said, I'm going to jump into my special dark recipe. Today, I am not going to do anything. It's the holiday season. Let's just go full fat on this. Let's break out some heavy cream. Usually, I have been doing not like super low calorie, the lower calorie, higher protein ice cream using cottage cheese, but today we're just going to go straight for the full fat. Oh my goodness, it's going so slow in here. So I'm going to do 1 cup of heavy cream, and then we're going to balance that out with about a cup of milk. Still using 2% on this. And something I keep forgetting to throw in, this is a trick I learned on Reddit for Ninja Creamy ice cream. I am going to throw in 2 tablespoons of vegetable glycerin. I bought this on Amazon. It is really good for keeping the ice cream from getting too hard after you freeze it. It's probably more than I need, but I find the flavor isn't terribly affected by this. There's a great post, and I'll leave that in the comments also. It's a great post talking about a user who looked at different levels of vegetable glycerin use. But I just bought this big bottle off of Amazon. Wasn't terribly cheap. I'll link that in the bottom also. So that being said, let's throw in. Today I'm going to do again, because I'm not going healthy on this one, a little bit less than a 1/3 cup of sugar. And here come the loud noises. I will see you in a second. Alright, so we got that. And I don't think I'm going to put any vanilla in today. I think I'm just going to go straight into chocolate. This is some basic cocoa powder, not the special dark Hershey's chocolate. They didn't have that at the store, but I am just going to start dumping it in. Start off with, I honestly do not remember how much I put in the other day. Start out with a 1/2 cup. And let's see what that is like. So I can sample it. That is rare, but I think we can go a little bit further. Let's do 1 more 1/4 cup. So we're going to put 3/4 cups on this. Now that is some dark, rich ice cream. Okay. So let's roll with that. Actually, I think I'm going to throw a little bit of vanilla powder in. Vanilla powder. Just a wee bit. Yeah, that pulls out the flavor nicely. Okay, so that was an easy little 1, 2, 3. If you're in the mood for something dark and creamy, or the Ninja Creamy. I wish I did them on purpose. Oh, look, I got a little extra too. Okay, so there is that, and that will go in the fridge. Now, one of the things I will say is I probably on this batch will do a mix-in. This I bought as a gift to myself. This is from my hometown. There is a chocolate company called Grosso Chocolate, and they have just some of them, amazing stuff. I'm not a big candy person. I'm probably going to do a mix-in with some Gertrude Hawk's dark chocolate covered pretzels. I don't know, it's not good. So either way. Do a mix-in with that, and that will chop these up a little bit, but alright, well that is where I'm going to leave this video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This will be my last video of 2025. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this out before the New Year's. It's definitely a couple days before Christmas, but if you are watching this and it is not yet 2026, please have a safe and happy New Year's. I hope to see you all come back as we continue to grow my little channel here into 2026. Get back to focusing on some more clinical applications, things that we can use on a professional level. But there are some things I have planned upcoming. Looking at some reviews of TV shows, videos from a psychologist perspective. I'm hoping to do some fun stuff in addition to the serious, more training-based stuff. So have a great rest of 2025, but we still have it. Let's make 2026 as best possible. And as always, please go forth and do good work. Thanks, everyone.